Welcome back, my friends. Episode 1 million of the Suited Kings podcast. I think it's more like 67 or 8, something like that. But,
Could be 69. We don't know.
dude, oh my God, clutch. I didn't even think about that. I'm going to have to go back and double check after this. But today's a good day, Wes. We've got, we've been working a lot on Suited Kings, and some of our ideas are coming to fruition. We just got off the chat a meeting, going to be doing a merch collaboration. So we'll be having some hoodies drop in pretty soon. A lot of exciting stuff. Your Twitch, your bankroll challenge has been going amazing. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
I want to start off this episode by sharing something with you that is absolutely huge. It's going to change my life. This just happened to me. So I'll explain the story. I'll give you a little.
You're hyping it up.
I'll give you some context here. So I ordered Leanne Chins before this meeting.
And it was that life-changing?
First off, I don't even really like Leanne Chins that much, but I had the craving, so I got it. And then I opened my fortune cookie, Wes.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And say
the listeners will not be able to see this, but before I read out loud, do you read that?
That's actually a really specific one. Yeah.
Is that not insane? Oh my God.
That is a poker player's dream fortune.
So my fortune says your July dreams will become a reality. I think that requires no more further explanation.
I think most of the listeners will know that July is when the World Series main event takes place.
Okay.
Any poker player's dream would be to win that event. So
I appreciate you being Captain Obvious. So
yeah, there's some people who listen who maybe don't go to the World Series, but
true.
I think
Well, I did tell you that I was going to smash a 7-figure score eventually here. Maybe this is
the year.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe I should just lock in like a 20% swap with you right off the bat.
You ain't getting that much. That's for damn sure. Filthy rat. Wes, can't wait to win the main event this year. But until that time, we got some recording to do here. There's a new segment I want to start. We're gonna try and do this each week. We might skip a week here. We're just gonna go with the flow. But I think this is a segment listeners will like. And I implore, or I ask, or indulge with us. Take a minute and pause this podcast and think about the hand. So what this is going to be is each week we're going to take turns. I'm going to read a hand history after Wes. I'm going to keep the one of the hands private, and then Wes has to guess. Take 3 guesses on what the hand is. See if he can get it right by the end. I think this would be cool, but also for listeners to think through the hand. And maybe see if they can guess it right as well. So if you're following along, try and use your brain and see if you can get it correct before we say what it is.
Yeah, and it'll also be a cool insight not only to how you played this hand, but to like what I think of how you play the hand, and what hands I would think to play that way.
Well, can I give you a clarification that this is not a hand I played?
Oh, this isn't one you played. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's still an insight into how I would maybe think about it.
Yeah. So this hand is actually our hero in this hand is going to be Jungle Man.
Okay.
And
so this is probably pretty high stakes.
This is a Hustler live whatever stream high stakes cash game. 25, 50, 50. So 25, 50 blinds with a 50 mandatory straddle. Our ante. Sorry.
Okay. Before you get into this,
I'm so confused.
Is this going to be the hand? He's not going to have 5-3 here, is he?
He does not have 5-3.
Okay, that's good. That's the only one I would have just known.
Okay, good. All right, good. So it's 25, 50, 50, and then we have a straddler as well. Anyway, so it goes as such. Under the gun straddles, +1 opens to 300. Hijack calls 300. Cutoff calls 300. So your typical live stream cash game where you're going 5 ways.
6x call.
Yeah, and then Jungle Man is in the small blind. I'm not going to say his hand, but he 3-bets to 2,500.
Okay,
he's in the small blind.
Just out of curiosity, how deep is he? How deep are the other stacks? Do you know?
Hundreds of big blinds.
Hundreds and hundreds. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. His three bet is literally to 50 big blinds. So that might not give us that much.
I think he has over 100K behind him.
Okay, over 100K. So
I'm
he
pretty sure if I
has
remember correctly. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but if I don't have the
so he
video.
has over 2,000 big blinds.
Yeah,
That's
like
gotcha.
they're playing extremely deep, like uber
Okay.
deep. Okay. Um, Now it folds to the under the gun straddle, who four bets to 6,100 with two tens.
Okay. So under the gun straddle, four bets. And Jungle Man is in the small blind.
And Jungle Man is in the small blind. Yep. And
He
then
three
remember
bet
we
to
had
25.
plus one had already done opened. That was I think it was Mariano, and I think he had pocket eights. He ends up
Okay.
he ends up folding obviously to the four bet. I think he had pocket eights or pocket nine, something like that.
All right. So everyone, I'm guessing, is going to fold back to
Cleans
Jungle.
house all the way back to Jungle Man. And Jungle Man completes.
All right. So he calls pot is probably like 14K.
Pod is. Oh yeah, I wrote this down wrong. Yeah, you're right. I put it as 9,600. That math is not math though. Yeah, so you are correct. So 6,100 times two plus the straddles, or excuse me, the opener, the calls, and the ante.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, something around there. The flop comes King of Hearts, Nine of Clubs, Three of Spades.
So King 9-3 rainbow.
Yep. Jungle checks and the straddler checks back two tens. First off, what do you think about this? I feel like we should
Oh,
be. I feel
okay.
like we should maybe be c betting ten small here. Don't you think?
Yeah. Okay, wait. Before we get into this,
Yeah.
this could turn into a hand breakdown if we take super long. I'm just wondering, like, do you want to just
Okay.
play the hand through and I guess Jungle's hand?
You are
If it's
correct.
just going to be the short
You're
segment.
right. We got some other hands to break
Yeah.
down today, so we'll
Okay.
leave this.
Okay.
We'll keep this simple. Thank you for keeping me on track here.
All right. So
Again,
check, check.
so it goes check check. Pot stays the same. The turn is the two of diamonds. So a reminder of the boards: King of Hearts, Nine of Clubs, Three of Spades, Two of Diamonds. Pretty disconnected board. It's a complete rainbow now for all four suits out there.
Okay.
Jungle leads 5,300. So what is that, like 40% pot?
Something close to that. Yeah.
And the straddler with pocket tens calls.
Okay.
So that's about 25K in the pot, I would say, something like that.
Yep. Yeah.
Um, it's actually, so I got this pot correct, 23,800 in the pot at this point.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. It was probably a little below, closer to 13 instead of 14
Yeah.
pre-flop. So
So 23,800 in the pot. Jungle now bets
wait.
20,000.
What's the river? What's the river?
The river is a five of spades.
Okay, so King 9 3 deuce 5, is that right?
King
Or is
nine,
it
three, deuce, five. No, yep. And then no flushes in.
all right? And so Jungle he squeezes pre-flop and he calls the cold four bet. After check check, he leads pretty small in the turn and leads big on the river.
You got it. That's exactly right.
All right.
And remember, our opponent has tens here.
Yeah. Okay. That's helpful only in the sense that now I'm gonna rule out some like Jack 10 suited, Queen
And
10
Queen 10
suited.
suited. That's
Yeah.
exactly, I mean, that's my
Give me
reasoning
at
there.
least a little bit of
Get
a
you a little
fair.
bit of flow here.
All right.
What other information can I give you? I think
I
think
think
that's
that's
you get three guesses. All right. So
okay.
give
All
me
right.
something
So
close.
yeah, so I'll walk through my logic. So I think basically Jungle is going to have for value, he's gonna have to have at least a king and probably a suited king or like king queen off, ace king off.
Nice.
So his value is gonna be like those hands. He's gonna have some pocket. Well, he could have not, although you weren't sure if Mariano folded nines or eights. So I feel like
I
okay,
think it was. I'm
I'm
pretty sure Mariano folded eights. I'm pretty sure.
okay. So I guess
But
king nine suited is a possibility. I'm already leaning towards this being. Oh, I guess there's ace four suited that rivered straight for value too.
that is true. That is, yeah.
Um, I don't know if he'd three bet deuces and threes, but both of those have a set on the turn. I don't think he'd bet pocket fives. So even though that's a set on the river, I'm ruling that out.
I love that the
Um,
listeners get to hear how you're breaking this down piece by piece to get a range going, and that's exactly the goal
yeah,
here.
yeah. I suppose in some of these live games, people are play kind of crazy. So he could maybe have 6-4 suited where he, had a gut shot and river to straight.
Okay.
I'm gonna rule out like something like 5-4 suited, 6-5 suited that had a straight draw, or ace-5 suited, because when you river the pair, he might figure he has a little showdown value.
Yep.
I actually, okay, here's my first guess. My first guess,
Okay.
and there weren't really any. I'm not going to specify what suit. I don't think it matters, but I'm going to
Okay.
say Queen Jack suited.
Okay. That is incorrect, and you're not close.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not close. Okay, so I'm now 100% ruling out Queen 10 suited, Jack 10 suited.
Yep.
Um,
I'm going to help you dial it in a little bit by giving tips like that, but I'm not,
yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm now going to say, I mean, it could just be something stupid, like some
It could be.
stupid. It could be one of the stupid two pair combos. Or
Once I tell you his hand, I will. One more tip I'll give you. Once I tell you his hand, you'll be like, it's creative, but I like it, is what I think your response will be to it.
okay. Oh, that is actually good. Um,
And if you guys are listening while Wes is thinking here, you should be doing the same. See if you can really dial this in.
okay, okay. Pocket fours.
He does not have pocket fours, nor does he have a four in his
He
hand.
doesn't have a four in his hand. Okay.
So that's
So
what I'm going to do each time. So you get three guesses, and each guess I'll give you the answer if it's
yeah,
correct or not, and then a tip to kind of
yeah.
guide you towards the right direction. So it's not your first guess was what was
Queen Jack suited.
Queen Jack suited. That's no, and it's nothing near that. Your second guess was pocket fours. And what did I say to that? It was what
You
did I just say?
said there was no four in
No
his hand
four
and
in his hand.
okay. Yeah. So my thought with that one was he might bet the turn to sort of deny equity, and once he gets called, he's like, I am behind and I need to bluff.
Yep.
And I block like ace four suited, so he could that's where the creativity, you know, become. Okay, I actually have one more question. The
Yep.
guy who cold four bet, how deep was he? Do you know?
Unfortunately, I do not remember. Let me think. 20. I want to say, and the listeners might know this hand, and I might be wrong. Forgive me if I do, but I want to say it's pretty significantly less. I want to say he has like 60-ish K, maybe.
All right.
Something.
Okay,
I want to say something like that.
okay, here is why you might get why I'm asking that when I give my final answer here. I'm gonna guess pocket aces.
He could have pocket aces. However, he does not have pocket
Oh
aces.
no. Yeah,
He did
my
have
thought
it.
is,
He did have an ace in his hand, though.
did he have ace king?
No, he did not have ace king.
All right. Ace deuce suited?
Close. You're getting
Ace
ace
three
five.
suited?
He had ace five suited.
Okay,
He
yeah.
had ace
Interesting.
five of clubs.
Okay, so I initially had sort of ruled out the fives, but once
Well,
I
your
said
thought
the
is you thought was that he would have showdown value, so he might not bet that, right?
yeah, but once he gets called on the turn and rivers a five, he probably knows that
In
the
a four
five
bet
is
in
no.
a four bet pot, he has no
Yeah.
showdown value. Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe I should have gone back on that because once I said pocket fours, that hand kind of falls in the same category where it is a pair but doesn't really have showdown. So
Yeah, and it
yeah,
and it blocks some of the straights as well, the nuts, the wheels. So,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
that was
Okay,
fun. I like
that
that.
was that was cool.
That was cool.
The reason I asked about the stack size is I was wondering if if the guy was quite a bit shorter than him, maybe he flats the four bet with aces to trap. But if they
Okay,
were both extremely deep, he'd probably five bet.
gotcha. And I wouldn't be surprised if he if he did this with fours because we know that hits the most sets. So can't blame you
True.
there. Can't blame you there. But I thought that was cool because you really dove into your thought process going through it. You were dialing it down, and yeah, take note, people. That's even though you didn't get it correct, you never. It's really hard to boil down a specific hand, right? Which we're doing here. It's almost impossible,
Yeah.
especially in three guesses.
I think that my second guess was by far the closest,
Yeah.
just in hand category, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool one. So
Okay.
we actually have a couple of hand reviews we're gonna do from these big, live stream cash games
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, should we get into one of those? We'll do more of a like decision by decision breakdown for
Yeah, that
these.
sounds good. And this one is going to be a popular hand from just a week ago. A bunch of you may have already watched the video of this hand. We want to actually dive into it and see if this was pure, pure insanity or something that was just like low key genius. And as they say in the stream, it's like there's a fine, fine, fine line between the two in poker. So I
Mhm.
guess
There really
we'll,
is.
we'll get close. We'll kind of boil it down and see if we can figure out if it's pure insanity or really really good. So, and Wes, I know you actually surprisingly I told you the details of the hand, but you hadn't even watched the video yet, really, necessarily.
Yeah, I had a buddy text me about the hand, seeing if I'd seen it, and I hadn't.
Okay.
And yeah, so I you told me the flop basically, but
Okay. Well,
yeah,
you
I
ready?
don't
Do
even know all the details.
you
So
want to get into it?
let's get into it.
Okay, so this is from High Stakes Poker on Poker Go. We have Mr. Alan Keating, we got Peter, and a bunch of other regs. I don't watch a lot of cash game streams, so I don't remember a lot of the names. I mean, I'm familiar with their faces. I just don't watch this stuff too much, so I kind of forget their last names and stuff like that. But I've seen Peter on a bunch of like I think he's in the $1 million game, etc. Obviously, we all know Alan Keating to be that guy with a pile of cash who makes crazy plays, but somehow still like gets the the perspective from the crowd that he's like kind of low key genius
Yeah.
while being crazy at the same time. But and this hand will just exemplify that. But let's go ahead and get into it. So it starts off with Steve. I have no idea who Steve is, but he looks like an older gentleman. I don't know. I would say maybe early 50s, late 40s, who's probably got worth a few bill. Who knows?
Yeah.
He's playing
Ye-
on high stakes cash, and I'd have no idea who he is.
Yeah, he's playing on high stakes cash and he's definitely not an actual poker
Okay,
player.
and
So that's
do you see the screen I'm sharing, Wes?
I do.
Okay, perfect. So, unfortunately, guys, this one we are not going to put to YouTube or have a video version because of copyrights. So, we'll go ahead and watch it just to make sure we give you the correct information. But, anyways, cutoff is Mr. Rich Steve. We'll call him.
Oh
He's got
boy.
he's got 675K and 860, eight of spades, six of clubs. He opens to 1.4K. What do we think the blinds are here? It doesn't even show them. You think it's like
Probably 200, 400.
200,
Oh, well,
400?
no, because it says with 200, 400 with a 400 big blind ante, because the pot is 2,400, so there's
Yeah.
1K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can always count on you, buddy. All right. So first off, thoughts on opening 860 from the cutoff.
Opening 8-6 offsuit from any position is a disaster unless it's like a tournament situation where you are putting extreme ICM pressure on someone. Yeah, no, this is just terrible in a
And I
cash
will
game.
I will give a caveat, or whatever you want to call it, but like these, I know that in the high stakes poker streams, they if you're not kind of just plain splashy, you'll never get an invite back. They want people who will bring action
That
onto the streams.
Yeah, that I would say that is true. However, I'd still think 8-6 off will not meet that threshold. Like open 8-4 suited, go ahead and do that. But like,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I will say in general, when you're because he's over 1,000, he's like 1,700 big blinds deep. The deeper you are, the if you want to widen up your range, like just do it with
You
a
want to
bunch
have
of
hands that,
suited
yeah,
hands.
suited type
Yeah.
hands. That makes sense.
Yeah. Like
Preferably nutted type suited hands so that you're not
yeah.
getting in thousands of big blinds without the
Yeah,
nuts.
like yeah, well, those would be good to play anyways. So if you're gonna loosen it up, just play play the 10-3 suited if you
Oh
want.
God.
Like that's still
But you're just gonna
eight.
hear in the cash games now. But it was suited.
Yeah. Hey, it's still better than 8-6 offsuit.
All right. So moving forward with the action, he's got $675,000 behind him. He opens to 1.4K with 8-6F. Now we got Peter. He again a high stakes regular. I think he's one of the most I read or heard that he's one of the highest winners on these high stakes cash games. I think he won a pile off Duan in some like million
Yeah.
dollar hand.
Yeah, there was some $1 million cash game where he just crushed. Like he made the nuts almost every time.
Yeah.
I
So
actually I don't really know his skill level, but I do remember that.
I don't know his skill level, but I know that he's willing to get creative. And
Yep.
again, you'll see that in his hand. But anyways, he's got the 6-3 of spades on the button with $912,000 behind him. Um, I think, in my personal opinion, I'm just always mucking this to a cutoff
Yep.
open on the button. Um, but Peter has other thoughts. What are your thoughts? Same thing.
So I would, yeah, but this is what I was saying. Like, if you're going to loosen up your range for
Yeah.
this sort of you know, televised game, do it with something like 6-3 suited. And he's in position against the opener. He's on the button, 6-3 suited. Like this isn't that bad if he's gonna call or three bet. So
Okay. All right. So moving forward, he ends up calling 1.4K, and now it folds. The small blind folds, and we're at the big blind, who's Mr. Alan Keating. You know, that handsome devil that's rich as hell and plays crazy poker. He's got just under a half a million. He's got 451K, and he completes with the 9-7 of diamonds. So
yeah. So that I like that. That
yeah,
is a
I
good
mean,
play.
I feel like that's, would you ever consider three betting a hand like 9-7 of diamonds
Yes and no. I mean,
to a
the
late position open and flat?
yeah, like in general, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And in this game, I also probably wouldn't, but for different reasons. It's just because I feel like people don't fold in these games.
They don't fold, and
Pre-flop
your
at
hand
least.
flop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah.
mean, you can kind of realize your equity with a hand like this without trying to inflate the pot.
Yeah. That being said, if he did three bet to like 8K or something,
It
I
would have
think that
worked,
would
I
be
bet.
it probably works. And even if it does, like ironically, nine high is even the best hand here.
Yeah,
So
I know, right? Yeah, not. By the way, 9 high is the best hand right now.
yeah. But I also think that would be I would think that was fine too. The only play I'm really not liking is Steve's open here.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree by far. Okay, so there's three people to the flop. We got the big blind, the cutoff, and the button. The flop comes ace of clubs, king of spades, seven of spades. So essentially, Alan picks up the best hand with a pair of sevens. Peter on the buttons got a six high flush draw, and then Steve just has the original opener. Steve in the cutoff has absolute air, just dust. So.
Hey, he's got backdoors. He's got an overcard to the seven. I mean, what's not to like?
You're right. He's got a bad. Yeah. Okay. See where that kind of defines where there's a will, there's a way. Wes would find a way to win this pot with the 8-6.
Probably not this time.
So the pot is 4,800. It's Keating checks. Steve, the original raiser, the original opener pre-flop, bets 4K. So he essentially bets half. Or no, he bets pot almost.
Yeah, like 83% pot, I think.
Yes. Yep. So 4K into 4,400 or 4,800, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Um, Now, this is where things start getting just going off the rail, right?
Okay,
Uh,
wait.
P-
So first off, what do you think of Steve's C bet here?
Absolute. I mean, I don't know. Hold on. I would say that I like it more than his open pre-flop.
That's pretty much exactly what I was gonna say. I think it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like his C bet more than his open because I mean at this point, that favor, in a non three bet pot three ways that should favor his range.
Yep.
Um. Anyways, so he bets 4K, bets rather large. Now, uh, Peter has again the six high flush draw. He's got 6-3 of spades on ace 7 king 2 spades. He elects to now two bet. Remember, guys, if it's post flop, the original raiser, if you're raising the original raiser, or if you're putting the
Yeah.
second raise in there, it's
I
two
feel
betting post flop.
I feel like that's the first time we've used the word two bet or the phrase two
I
bet.
know. Well, that's why I had to explain it, right? Because it's like,
Yeah.
pre flop, it essentially pre flop, you're counting the big blind as a bet.
Yes.
So that's why it is that way. So there's no big blind in there post flop, essentially. So it's a two bet instead of a three bet. Anyways, that's for those that didn't know.
Yeah. How what sizing does Peter go to?
So let's get to that. Peter raises to 13K. Again, these guys are thousands of bigs deep, just incredibly deep. What do you think of this?
I think it's good. I mean, you have six high, you have a flush draw, and you're up against a range
And
of
you're in
hands where
position.
yeah, like this guy could have clearly he has eight high right now, but he could have all sorts of nine high, 10 high, jack high, queen. He's gonna have a lot of hands that we can just get a fold from right off the bat.
Yeah, and you're
And this has the benefit of knocking Keating out of the pot, so it would seem,
yeah,
with hands
it
that
should.
like
Right.
if Keating has like a queen 10 off or pocket fours or anything that's like just I mean, I would think this hand, I would think nine, seven of diamonds would also fold now. Um, we might learn otherwise in a second here, but yeah, I think raising with the six high flush draw is good. I think if we had something like the nut flush draw, which I guess would be top pair as well, I could go for either a raise or a call because then you want Keating in the pot. You want that, but when you have the six high draw, like winning right now is good.
So much
You
value.
don't,
Plus, I think
yeah.
raising here, oftentimes, if you do get it to heads up, or even if not, even if Keating calls and Peter calls here, um, you're gonna get to the river for free.
If you want to, yes.
Yeah, if you want, right? Because you essentially they're going to be if you raised on the flop here, they're going to be checking the turn to you, to which then you can check back if you want. You're
Yep.
probably not going to be with six high, but maybe you will. We'll see. I guess we won't see because the action changes, Mr. Wesley.
Yeah. So what happens next? What does Keating do with his bottom pair no draw?
So Steve C bets 4K, Peter two bets to 13K. Now Keating is in the big blind with bottom pair. He's got third pair. He's got a pair of sevens with a nine kicker on ace king seven. This is where I think, this is something I would never do. So let's dive into this a little bit after we get his sizing. Now, Keating now three bets to 41K. So it went 4K, 13K, 41K. In terms of sizing, I mean, just the only thing I have to say about that is being out of position. I like that he sized up.
Yeah. I think the
But,
sizing is good. I think
but
the choice to three bet is
that's what I'm saying. Like
crazy.
the choice to three bet here is crazy. I don't know what his history is with these two opponents prior to this hand and like what kind of shenanigans he's been experiencing. But it seems like there's two options at this point. It's either he's like, I have the best hand here so frequently because my opponents I know are just splashing around, or he's just like, I'm going to get a better hand to fold here.
I think it's got to be mostly the latter. I, yeah, like, okay, so one thing that I think actually is relevant is having a seven blocks pocket sevens.
It
And
does. Yeah.
when Peter raises, he's saying he has a strong hand or a draw. And when he didn't three bet pre-flop, right? So he's not going to have aces, kings, or ace king.
I want to pause you for a second, guys. This is probably the most important part of the hand. Like, hear this part out here because this is where we start developing ranges, right? This is where we can start figuring out where we're at in the hand. So go ahead. You're saying
Yeah.
that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically when Peter can't have aces, kings, or ace king, all of his super strong value hands have to include a seven. So it could be pocket sevens, which now there's only one combo. It could
Ace
be
seven,
eight,
king seven suited.
yeah, ace seven suited and king seven suited, and there's only one combo of ace seven suited, and there's two of king seven suited, just because of that seven of diamonds blocker. So even if Peter decided to raise something like ace 10, a strong ace, for example, that might be a hand that Keating could get him to fold. So the hands that Keating is truly worried about, he just has the perfect blocker to.
Yep.
And now, if Steve were to somehow call or four bet this, Keating's going to be done immediately
Yeah.
because Steve can have all the strong. He is uncapped right now, but Steve also, like with the raise and three bet, he's gonna have to fold. Like if he has just ace jack offsuit, I think he's gonna have to fold that even.
Yeah. Well said. And to add on to what you were saying earlier, it's like the reason why you're saying that, like we're not afraid of mini hands now from Peter after he two bets post but didn't three bet pre is because we can remove pocket aces out of his range. We can move pocket kings, which is top set, second set. We block pocket sevens, so there's only one combo of that. So it's unlikely that he has any of those hands. And then, and he doesn't have ace king either because he would have three bet that pre either. So essentially, I mean, at this point, Keating is able to boil it down to either, A7 suited, King 7 suited, or a flush draw. And the fact that he has a 7, it probably pushes it even further towards a flush draw.
Yes.
Again, though, as you were saying, we're still concerned about Steve, who's the original raiser in this hand, who did c-bet this hand. But Steve now folds, Wes. He folds to Keating's 3-bet post. And now all of a sudden, Keating's in a good position, in my opinion. He found a spot where like he's able to reduce his opponent's range to a few specific hands that he's beating most of.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I think if this was a, you know, 7, 8 queen, I mean, a lot of random boards he just wouldn't have done this on, but the
I will
ace
say though that I
king.
would have never found that 3-bet with
No, I
the
mean,
third.
this is kind of like you said, it toes the line between genius or insanity.
It's crazy though how this 3-bet all of a sudden gets him put into such a situation that seems so good for him though.
Yeah. So
Like
now
it's so
let's
crystal clear, you know what I mean? With once um the original razor folds, it's like all of a sudden I know almost exactly where my opponent's at.
Yep. Okay, so now Peter has to call 28K more. He's getting a little better than 2 to 1. He only has the 6 high flush draw. Do you
I
think he
might just fold
calls?
a 6 high flush draw here, being concerned that Keating might have better flush draws.
He could have a better flush draw. He could even have like the nut flush draw, which is top pair, which would leave us basically dead with
And
the
we should
six.
yeah, and considering Keating didn't 3-bet pre, now kind of using this against Keating, like he shouldn't have all the same things that Peter shouldn't have, right?
Correct. Yeah, it is possible that he could have more combos of like he could have ace
The,
seven offsuit
yeah,
maybe.
that's true. There's a few more combos of offsuit, two pairs. But yeah, but those all beat him, and then obviously the better flush draws dominate him as well. So it's just not a great spot for him.
Yeah.
He does
That
have
being
position.
said, yeah, I don't think it's crazy to call here
Okay.
being,
I mean, there's
but
some there. I guess there is some implied. Could we say this is a good spot for implied odds because of how deep we
it,
are
I guess yes and no, like because we also have huge reverse implied odds against the worst
by getting
against a better
cooler?
flush. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that
And,
as well.
and that's why I think I agree with you. I would probably fold this. Like I would call with a queen high flush draw, but
Okay.
yeah, it just
Well, Mr. Peter calls. Now we're heads up. We got Keating in the big blind, Peter on the button. Turn comes a 6 of hearts, a banana, as we would, right?
yep. A
A nice ripe banana.
nice banana. So
Now, if you're Keating, I feel like deducting what we've deducted from how we think Peter's range should be at this point, we should continue betting as Keating. You agree,
so I don't know. I mean,
or do you just want to try
is
and take it to
the
showdown at this point?
yeah, like are we if we have a 7 here, do we want to bet? Are we betting this for value against flush draws? Is that
I
the
mean that yeah,
idea?
it's for value and equity denial against flush draws specifically.
Yeah. Um,
Because I mean, we can essentially remove like King, Queen, and King Jack out of Peter's range by how much actions
yeah.
happened up to this
Actually,
turn.
yeah. No, you know what? I think we need to keep betting because part of this thought process was we're going to be able to get him to fold just a naked ace by the river.
Yeah.
So I think you need to continue betting. I guess this would be considered a merge, but it's more of a bluff against those hands. And then if he has a flush draw, it's like, okay, if he calls or folds, that's fine.
Okay, I like it. All right, so Keating now. So how much did we have in the pot? 90 something K, right?
It was just over 90.
Yep, 90K. Peter, no, excuse me, Alex or Alan, geez Louise, Wes. Keating, we'll call him, bets 58K into 90K. With Peter here on this turn, he turns bottom pair with his flush draw.
Yeah.
Essentially gives him a little bit more equity. What are your thoughts here? Honestly, I feel like I'm in no man's land in this deep in cash game streets. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
tournaments
mean,
you don't play
I'm
thousands of
not,
games, so
yeah. And I don't, I very rarely played this many big blinds deep either, but I actually don't like Keating's bet size here. He went for a little under 2/3. And I think the story you're trying to tell is like that you have pocket sevens or that you flopped two pair.
Hmm.
And why would you not, like there was 90K in the pot and he had four, what, 410? Yeah, he had like 410K. Why would you not bet at least pot or a little over bet, like a little bit of an over bet, and just try and get it in by the river? Like
Yeah,
that's exactly how you would play king seven suited, pocket sevens, ace seven.
I like it. So you're not saying you should have gone small. You're saying he should have bet like pot or something to set up a better SPR.
Yeah, yeah. I think when you see this 58K into 90, it's like it doesn't quite add up in terms of the story. Um,
I really
because
want to know. I really want to know at this point in this hand, is he value betting or bluffing?
yeah, I actually don't know. And by the way, even if we're up against, let's say he's up against a flush draw, he should kind of want to fold that out too. Because
Yeah.
even though Peter might not realize, like let's say he had queen nine of spades, right?
Yep.
I guess maybe not a nine because Keating has a nine too, but queen eight of spades. So Peter wouldn't realize this, but both of his overcards are live too. So Keating should want to fold that out because it's like a 15 out draw, even though Peter might think it's really a 9 out draw.
I got you. Okay.
So he should be betting a size that flush draws don't want to call with. And I don't think he achieved that here.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, as Peter, I think like if you're calling the flop, we turn a pair. Like now he actually beats the bluffs except for this random 7x, you know? And if he's against two pair, he has a couple more outs. If he's against some random ace that is doing this, he now has five more outs. And yeah, he's beating other flush draws. So I think as Peter here in position, getting a reasonably good price, I would definitely call on the turn.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate that insight. Are you ready for another left turn?
Yeah. Oh, is he gonna raise? Oh my God.
Keating bets 58K. Peter contemplates for not too long and and now two bets to 175K. Um,
Wow.
I mean, yeah, after Peter's raised to 175K, there's 323 in the pot. Uh, yeah, I mean, this is just taking me to no man's land here. I mean, at this point, it's so interesting. It's like, do you stick with your gut or do you just fold because it's so scary, right? And as Alan Keating, I'm saying, for and my example is this: it's like, what hands does Peter have here? I mean, we already said that he doesn't have top set, second set, or probably bottom set because we block it. He also doesn't have those two pairs, so it's most likely he has a flush draw. But would he play a flush draw like this? It's just so strange.
Yeah. So my thought, okay. So from Peter's perspective first, the decision to raise here. Um,
I feel like this is punt land, but
yeah, I don't like it at all because we actually, this feels like, we're facing two-thirds pot. We have a flush draw and a pair. Like in position, this feels like such an easy just call. And so I don't like the raise. I don't like
right. I mean,
Keating.
in position, you could
Keating,
call and then bluff rivers if Keating checks potentially, but
yeah, and if Keating, if he has value, he's not folding. Like he's not gonna fold two pair or obviously pocket sevens here. Um, I don't love the raise from Peter.
they're taking
As
it to the streets, man. This is if you want us to talk about taking it to the streets, this is it though.
it really is. And then Keating, obviously this is I mean, I think we would have folded if we were him at this point already. But now that we're in this spot, so part of our goal in taking this line was to fold out any random ace that Peter might have. I would think, and maybe I'm wrong because I don't think either of us really know how these guys play, but I would completely rule out any one pair ace now. Um,
Yeah,
Peter is
exactly. We're getting, yeah, so that, like ace 10, like you were saying.
Yeah, Peter's basically saying that he flopped a set of sevens, which only one combo, or that he has like the ace seven suited, king seven suited. I mean, who knows? Like, I don't know. Is there a world where he's flatting ace king pre? Like, I don't really get it. Even the weird thing is, let's say he even has ace six of spades, where he flopped top pair and the nut flush draw, and then turns two pair. I don't really think he's going to raise because for one thing, his hand isn't vulnerable. Like he wants to keep the bluffs alive when he has two pair plus the nut flush draw. Also, he could be up against a set of sevens or ace seven, so it's not like ace six suited is just the nuts when you're up against a cold three bet on the flop. So I like as Keating, obviously it sucks to just have third pair and no draw. But if he's thinking it through, like the fact that he played it this way, I don't hate calling. Like I'm not saying that it's
Yeah, you don't hate it
actually
and you don't love it, kind of. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like it's like I feel like this pot has $440,000 in it, and
Yeah.
we
I should say after he makes the call, it has
after he makes,
440,
so yes,
which he does.
Keating makes the call. There's 440K in the pot. Keating's got third pair and Peter's got fourth pair. um, Keating has 235K behind, so he's got about a .5 SPR, and Peter's still got 700K behind. Um, I think we all know where this is going. Keating will now check, being
Did
that he
you
was not the aggressor on the turn.
wait, sorry, did you say the river?
The river is a four of hearts.
Four
Excuse me.
hearts.
Yep. So the river's the four of hearts. Another banana, right? This
Yeah.
essentially is.
I mean, who knows? I guess Peter could have eight, five of spades. Like the
He
funny
could
thing
have
is
pocket fours.
they do make the most sets. Yeah. Well,
You did
I
say
guess
pocket fours though when we were talking about ranging on the flop. Obviously, that gets removed considering all the action sense, but
yeah. I think on this, some of the bluffs on the turn that make the most sense from Peter are like the combo draws, which eight, five of spades, five, three of spades. It would include those. Then like 10, nine of spades, eight, nine of spades, 10, eight of spades, nine, five of spades. So like I guess the point is like, yeah, this is about as blank of a card as you'll get.
here's the thing.
But with these guys, you kind of can't rule anything out.
So here's what's interesting. I'm trying to decide. So obviously, there's Keating has half of what's in the pot left, but it's still, almost $250,000 he's got behind. But Keating checks and Peter jams relatively quickly. I'd say it was like a 5 to 10 second decision. He says all in. Keating tanks for a little bit. Before we say what Keating does, I'm sure most of you can figure it out by this point. But what are we trying to get Keating to fold at this point? And here's the truth.
That's a good point.
He's not folding out any of the two pairs that Keating could have. And
Yeah, he's
the
not.
only thing that he's trying to get Keating to fold at this point is a better flush draw that whiffed.
Yeah, but Peter has a six, so like he beats the better flush
And now he
draws.
beats, right. And now you're right. Great point. So he's got fourth pair, which then beats those hands. So you're right. So why would he turn that into a bluff?
Yeah.
I
So
don't,
actually, I would say, I mean,
I would
Keating's
check this
check
back.
makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. I think Peter actually should check. As crazy as it sounds with all the action, his fourth pair has showdown. Like he
Yeah.
beats the other draws. And I guess we can see here, like, yeah, Keating actually has a weak hand that beats us, but logically it would seem that if Keating has a strong hand, it's going to be, or if Keating has a hand that's better than ours, it's going to be one that calls easily.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
remember, Keating called the raise. He three bet post flop. He called the two bet on the flop on the turn.
yeah.
Um, you're just not getting like he's
Like
not
there's,
folding anything. He's just not
yeah,
folding.
Queen high flush draw, Jack high flush draw, like combo draws like nine, five of spades, 10, nine of spades, eight, nines. We beat those, but
But we
it
wouldn't
doesn't
have
make
to
any
bluff those.
correct. Yes. I think Peter should check. But he decides to go all in or put Keating all in.
He does. He puts Keating all in. Keating tanks for a while, and it's funny because Shulman I think was commenting, and he was like, or commentating. And he goes, this is kind of like a fine line between, insane and brilliant. And then right after, like literally before a breath can even be taken, Keating says at the table, this is either going to be considered insane or brilliant. Like
That's
he
funny.
he mimicked what Schulman said as the commentator almost immediately after he said it. And Schulman immediately responds, well, that was weird.
Yeah.
Like, it was very crazy how that happened at the same time. But they both understand poker on a deep level, obviously, so it makes sense. But yeah, Peter jams, Keating tank flicks it in. Peter says you're good. Keating wins it with nine high, or with a pair of sevens, nine high. Keating wins it with a pair of sevens, and all of a sudden, we have a new poker hand in the history books. I mean, this is one of the craziest hands I've ever seen personally.
Yeah. And I will say, I like Keating's call on the river way more than I like some of the other parts of this hand. But I can even see what he was doing with the whole hand.
Is he
Um,
insane or is he insane or is he brilliant?
a little of both. A little of
That's the
both. I
best
mean,
answer. That's the best
the
answer.
yeah, like I don't know. Obviously,
Those
it
things,
worked out
these plays will
perfectly.
blow up in your face a lot, I feel like.
Yeah, if you try too hard to like, because what can happen is people see this and then they think like, oh, this is, you know, brilliant. Like, and then they'll look for opportunities to like, oh, three bet with second or third pair on a flop where it's just like burning money. And I think Keating's logic actually, if he was thinking, if he was thinking about it the way we're kind of talking about it, I definitely like all of his logic. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, and it's cool that I mean, as crazy as this the action looks on paper, like it was really cool hand to really dissect and figure out just simply because of that Peter did not three bet pre-flop that we were able to dial in his range so securely throughout the hand.
Yeah. And imagine how much of a chump do you feel like if you're Peter and you bluff and you just get called by basically one pip bet. Like you get called by third pair and you're
It's
just like,
insane.
oh, my bluff was literally never going to work
You know what's
there.
crazy though? For some reason, Keating folded that river. Peter would look like a genius.
He would kind of, although I feel like when we break it down, we would have not come to that
I
conclusion.
agree. I agree. I mean, we
But
kind of
yeah,
did through as we broke it down, but
yeah.
that was I love that hand. That one took a bit longer than expecting, but it was still a really good one. I hope you guys, if you guys hadn't seen that hand yet, obviously that's one for the books. Make sure to check it out on the what's this show called again? It's High Stakes Poker on Poker Go. Make sure to check that out. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed breaking down that hand with us. That was a lot of fun to go over and kind of really think deeply about our opponent's ranges strictly because of how it develops through the hand and how that changes because of the actions that didn't take place, earlier in the hand, such as the three bet pre, etc. So, um,
Mhm.
hope you guys enjoyed that again. And Wes, let's go ahead and go over a couple plugs here before we wrap this episode up. I'll go ahead and start us off with my boy Wes here. Been having success in his bankroll challenge, going from 10K to 100K. Wes, what are you at now?
Yeah, so I'm up to 18,835.
After how many
About
weeks? 3 weeks, something like that.
yeah, or no, I guess technically I started like a month ago, but I have played something like 16 sessions. So good amount of profit in those sessions. Um, yeah, the last week was good. Had that double final table night that really sort of launched things in the right direction.
Yeah, and you've kind of been on a heater ever since, having a bunch of profitable nights in a row.
Yeah, the challenge has been going well. Yeah, like I think 16 sessions, maybe 17. We yeah, I'm not gonna be streaming the next few days here, but
Yep.
then I'll be back at it pretty
Do you want to
strong.
tell the people why?
Yeah, I'm actually on a ski trip in Colorado here. If I do anything, I might like fire up a couple cash tables and just stream the visual, but not, not do audio. And maybe you and I could, you know, do some analysis of it
I'll hop
later
in there and be like,
for
look at Wes just sucking. I wouldn't open this shit.
right, yeah.
I'll just be the die. That'd be good.
Um, but yeah, so the the way I look at it is like I have 1 month or maybe really just 3 weeks worth of sessions under my belt, and I've increased the bankroll by like 88% while staying within the constraints. So I think that's when you look at it that I mean, even you know, looking at it anyway, it's off to a good start. So
There's a long ways to go, but I
long
mean,
way to go.
yeah, but getting, you start off a little bit slow, nothing too crazy, up and down 1,000, for the first week or two. But now that you've caught a little momentum, it's nice to see it growing. It's been fun, chatting with people in chat and seeing, not only our listeners, but our friends and everybody else in there kind of supporting you. Um, Look forward to more of that. Secondly, our Patreon, Wes. We released our Patreon 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and we are so happy that you guys are enjoying the content. We have a ton of subscribers already that have been eaten up. We've been dropping 2 to 3 videos per week. If you're interested in improving your game, and also enjoy the way that we dissect and break down hands. Essentially, if you enjoy learning from us specifically, you can go ahead and join our Patreon. It's $15 a month for the pro tier study model, whatever you guys named it,
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
the
Close
pro
enough.
study tier, early
But we drop 3
access. Yeah.
training videos every week at a price that is just far below, all of our competitors. So make sure to check that out. And then also, if you just want to support the podcast, we have that $5 subscription model where, you can just, show thanks for all the work we've put in over the year and a half we've been making our episodes so far. So make sure to check the Patreon out. Links for that will be in the description, as well as for Twitch's stream. For Wes's stream. Good Lord, I need a nap or some coffee. And then on top of all that stuff, we have Discord. If you guys haven't joined it yet, I feel like most of you have. Make sure to check that out. Link in the description. Come say hi to us. Clubs Poker, our next meetup game, is going to be next Tuesday, the 11th of March. Shout out to our boy Bovada DJ.
Bovada Degen, yeah.
Yep, he ended up winning it last week. He got that sick golden Discord tag. Took it from Leo. So
Yeah, and at
was
least
happy
I
to remove
knocked you
that.
out on the bubble.
And then Wes knocked me out on the bubble. I think we actually mentioned this last week.
We
but
did, yeah.
Make sure to join clubs. And if you have not joined yet, do so using our affiliated link you'll find in the description here. That helps support the podcast. Again, this stuff really helps us out, and we really appreciate that. So make sure to sign up using our affiliation code if you have not yet. And then lastly, our YouTube channel. Every once in a while, we drop more visual type content out on YouTube. If you're a visual learner and want to follow along with some visual aids, make sure to check out our YouTube. Links for all this stuff is going to be in the description on wherever you're listening to this, so make sure to check that out. I'm out of breath, Wes. What else?
I think you covered it all. I don't know what else to say.
I'm getting good at this. Well, we got new merch coming out the door here very shortly. Looking forward to that. Within the next let's say month or two here, we should have stuff in hand and ready to go. But until that time, guys, good luck with whatever you're grinding, whether it's online or in person. Wes, enjoy ripping down those mountains and steamboats. Hope you have a great time out there. And we'll go ahead and see you guys next week.